Hey everybody, I am Sarah Chamberlain. I am a double diamond with It Works, been in the company for 3 years, about 3.5 years. But I just wanted to talk today about mindset. Now, in the chat, I went ahead and listed out the non-negotiables that I do every single day. So after the Zoom, I recommend, I just recommend going to the chat before the Zoom is over, copying those things, and for like 30 minutes, start knocking those 6 things out. I'm not going to sit here and do them with you because I actually worked earlier today. So after the Zoom, I'm going to go hang out with my husband and just keep responding to messages. But I do want to make sure that you get your work in. And then tomorrow I'm doing a Zoom and I'm going to start working on those non-negotiables with you. So if you have questions about any of those, be sure to hop back on tomorrow night at 8:30, same Zoom number, and we're going to actually work through those 6 things. So tonight, what I wanted to talk about is something that happened to me, something that just changed my mindset, okay? And the first 2 things were actually things that we learned either at a diamond retreat or at conference this year. So the first thing is the word millionaire. Could everybody make sure your mics are muted? I don't know how to do it. Let me go through them. So the word millionaire. When I thought of the word millionaire, first of all, I want you to write it down. And then I want you to write out next to it like a description of that word. Maybe like when you think of a millionaire, you think of high-end cars, high-end fashion. You know, when someone's a millionaire, you think, what are they going to do with all this money, right? So that's the first thing I want you to do. So I'm going to give you all a second to do that. Okay, and then the next 2 things that I want, 2 to 3 things that I want you to write are a lie that you believe about yourself. And you're going to hear this specific part through probably multiple Zooms. So I always want to address the lies that you're telling yourself, something that you honestly feel is true. For instance, one of my lies is no one wants to hear what I have to say. I am not authentic. That was one of the lies I told myself. So it was a truth though. Like I really believed that no one cared, that no one wanted to hear what I had to say. So I want y'all to write down 2 to 3 things that you believe about yourself. And then what the word millionaire kind of triggers when you think of that word. Okay. So I want to tell you a little backstory. So on Tuesday, my husband and I took our 3 little boys over to the owner of the company he works for. We went over to his house and we drive into this neighborhood. It's right on the lake. I mean, literally you walk out the back door, walk down a dock. He's got his boat sitting there. We're walking through this house. It's like $1 million home. And he shows us his 15-year-old daughter's room, okay? We walk inside her room and it is overlooking the lake, the most gorgeous view in the entire house. I turn around, again, she's 15, guys. I turn around and on her wall, she has a Louis Vuitton hanging and a Tory Burch purse. I think it's Tory. I don't know. I don't even know what brand it was. It was just an expensive purse on the wall, okay? And for a second, I thought, she is 15 years old. What in the world is she doing with a Louis Vuitton? That was my first thought. And I immediately grabbed the thought, something I learned at conference. I grabbed that thought and I thought, if I could give my children the best I possibly could and the best I could possibly afford them comfortably, like it's not going to be a financial strain on me, is a Louis Vuitton. I'm getting my kid a Louis Vuitton. Doesn't mean they need it, but I'm going to give my kids the best that I can afford. And if the best I can afford are Walmart shoes, best bet that they are going to get a nice pair of Walmart shoes. But if I can also afford a Louis Vuitton, I'm going to get my kid a Louis Vuitton. why would I expect anything different from this millionaire? And so I walked around the house after that, after I captured that thought, and I, I was like, I'm not going to have this negative thought about money anymore. And the rest of the time I walked through the house, I was like, you know what? This is awesome that he can afford these things. It's awesome that he never like held himself back from being monetarily successful and then blessing his family with it. How awesome is that? And so I grew up, my dad worked so many jobs. I don't even remember him being home very much. Like I remember one time picking up the phone and calling my mom at like 7 o'clock at night and just saying, I'm scared. It's dark outside. My dad's not home. And he raised me by himself, me and my brother by himself, for a few years. And we were just broke. I mean, looking back, we were poor. We were like super poor. And now as an adult, it's easy for us to hold on to that poor mindset of that, hey, I got to work like my parents worked. Hey, I got to live paycheck to paycheck like my parents lived. Hey, I got to, it's easy to stay in that generational burden of I'm broke, this mindset. Okay. And so what we always encourage is, why not break free of that chain? Why not change the generational pattern that's coming after you? Because I know this man who is probably a multimillionaire, and I know his daughter, and his daughter doesn't have the broke mindset. She never struggled with money, and she still doesn't. Like, she's a very successful, works in this business, very successful woman. And I am so proud of her and am so inspired by her. And so often I kind of get those like a gut check, I guess, where she'll say, Sarah, why are you so scared of money? Like, this happened right before conference. We're walking through the airport and she's like, why are you so scared of money? Why do you think that it's not okay to have that Louis Vuitton? I didn't even take guys, I earned a Louis Vuitton. I set this goal on my dream board and I said, hey, if I reach that, I'm going to go get a Louis Vuitton. And in a month, I reached that goal. I loved on a lot of people to earn that purse, to earn that dream on my dream board. And I was ashamed of it to even take it on the airplane with me, because I thought, I don't want people to think that I'm in it for money. Well, that's silly. That's silly. I didn't start this business thinking, I'm going to help all these people for free. No, I started this business saying, I'm going to help all these people and get paid. But there was like a disconnect. Like, my head I couldn't wrap around the thought of the idea of being monetarily successful. And so, hold on, I'm reading through my notes. I don't want to miss anything. So then I guess a few years back, I went to a leadership conference, a praise team conference. I'm on the praise team with my church. And at this conference, someone said, I would love to be where you are. And the lady on stage said, you are literally no different than me. I pick out my underwear, same as you do, every morning. I shower and I wash my body with the same kinds of soaps that you buy from Target every single night. We are no different. Our spiritual gifts are different because God created us to be different. And just the power she had in that and the confidence she had in that, I thought, man, we are no different. And so while I'm walking through this millionaire's house on Tuesday, I'm telling myself, and this is weird, he picks out underwear just like I do. I'm like looking through, seeing his daughter's 15-year-old Louis Vuitton purse on her wall. I'm like, you know what? He is no different than me. He just didn't have that broke mindset that I had, where every penny that comes in needs to be spent. And so the lies I told myself, I want you to look at your lies. If you had time to write your lies down, and if you're just now hopping on, what I said is I wanted everybody to write down the word millionaire and just a thought that brings to mind whenever you say that word. Whether it's, money, whether it's generosity, whatever your word is tied to millionaire. And then 2 to 3 lies that you tell you believe about yourself. Okay. So we're sitting at a diamond retreat and I have this call on my life right now. And I've just seen it over and over and over again, where God says, Sarah, when you are given the opportunity to speak, you need to speak. And guys, that is like, that will like wanted to made me want to throw up because I was introverted. I believed that no one wanted to hear what I had to say. I believed all these things about why I was not good enough. I wasn't called. I don't know enough of the big words. Like I'll use a word and I always turn around and I'm like, did I use that right? My husband has to be like, yeah or no, like you didn't use that word right. So I just thought like, I'm not even smart enough, you know, like I didn't make it through college. I wasn't good in school. So all of these lies, all of these chains that Satan was just like, you're not good enough, just going to hold you down here with all these different chains, right? But then at this diamond retreat, she's Ashley Sinclair. If you guys don't know, she's in our upline. She's the ambassador in our upline, and she's amazing. And she said, "Does anybody want to share the lies again? Like I want to throw up." Because a little backstory on the Ashley Sinclair thing, I at Green Carpet last year, which was in like October, November, I think, we were in Florida. And I just kept having this feeling like if I could just talk to Ashley Sinclair, I was going to be a millionaire. Anybody ever feel like that? Drop a 1 if you're ever like, someone's got the right wording. Someone's got the right answer. Someone has all the secrets and they're keeping them all to themselves. Well, that was kind of my thing with Ashley. I was like, I just feel like if I can talk to her for like 10 minutes, I'll be a millionaire. I could do this. But then the opportunity presented itself for me to talk to Ashley, and I about vomited in the restaurant. And then my friend that I can see on my screen up here said, "Oh, you want to talk to Ashley? Hold on." Walked over, got Ashley, brought her back. And Ashley is like, "What? You want to talk to me?" And I was like, oh my gosh, like I just wanted to be sick. Well, then I ended up being able to go to her house for a diamond retreat. So whenever you hit the rank of diamond, you will then get to go to these leadership retreats. And so we went to Ashley's house, and I'm sitting there and I'm like getting to know her, and I'm like, man, she does hold the secret. She holds the secret that I have been desperately searching for. And it's that she's no different than me. She just is working hard. And so I started slowly, guys, I started breaking through these chains. And Ashley asked us, tell me the 3 lies that you believe about yourself. And so, of course, I was like, I have to share mine because God told me I had to. And so I told her my lies. And afterwards, like 5 minutes later, her eyes welled up with tears. And she was like, I cannot believe the lies my friend believes about herself. And for the first time in my life, I thought, oh my gosh, other people don't see me that way. And most importantly, God doesn't see me that way. And it was just like this lid was just like, or this veil was just like removed off of me. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's no different than me. The only thing she's doing is working. And I am not the things that have been holding me down. I believed I was an introvert. And like one of the exercises that this clinical psychologist had us do was to think back to a time when someone would have made you feel like you were an introvert, something that would have made you believe in that lie. And I literally, guys, I thought back to a time where I met my babysitter for the first time. My parents were still married. So I'm like 3 years old or something. And I remember my mom hiding me behind her legs or allowing me to be hidden behind her legs and telling my babysitter, she's shy. And from that moment on, I believed it. For 24 years, I believed I was shy because I was allowed to believe that as a child. So not that my mom had any bad intentions. She didn't know it was going to go with me for the next 24 years or whatever, 27 years, because I forgot how old I am apparently. But anyway, I believed it. And so it was something that I had to start breaking free from and figuring out where did that tie me down? Because the shyness tied me down a long time ago. The broke mindset tied me down whenever I was a kid and I watched my dad struggle. I'm not good enough. Hey, make sure you're muted, guys. I'm not good enough to no one wants to hear what I have to say. That was a lie that I just felt like I couldn't be original. And then I found it in the Bible that nothing is new under the sun. Nothing is original, guys. Nothing. So it's okay. Sometimes I have a Sunday school teacher. I was raised in church, but I wasn't raised in Christ. And I have this Sunday school teacher, and he is also a chemistry teacher. And he can explain things in a way where, I mean, again, I've been going to church my whole life. Why didn't I hear that story or the meaning behind that story the same way before? Well, it's because he has a way of explaining things to me where I'm like, oh, that makes sense. It's kind of like if you've ever been in school and your teacher would explain something to you one way and then you're like, I don't get it. And your friend explains it and you're like, oh yeah, I got it. I feel like for me anyway, that's what God wants me to do. He's not calling me to be original. He's not calling me to do anything spectacular. He's calling me to just do what I'm told to do. He's calling me to share. Okay? I'm not having to create in this business. I'm not having to create the products. I'm just sharing them. I'm not having to create new lingo or recreate the wheel on how to get these products into the hands of people who need them. He's not asking me to do anything original. He's just asking me to share it. I'm like, okay, so these chains are starting to be broken, right? So then I start doing all of these self-development, like podcasts and stuff. And there's tons of great ones. If you have a good podcast that you like, that you listen to all the time, drop it below. I have two. I'm going to shout out to Valerie. I listen to her podcast. I'm behind, but she has the Beautifully Enough podcast. That one is awesome. There is another one that's called the Big Life Daily Devotional, or the Big Life Devotional. I listen to that one every single day. And that one is daily. Valerie's is weekly. So I started listening to all these podcasts, doing all this self-development. But then I found myself like knowing all the stuff, but not doing all the stuff. Because guys, let me tell you, you can know all the stuff, but if you're not doing all the stuff, it doesn't matter what you know. Okay? So you have to have both. You have to have the knowledge. Well, you don't have to have the knowledge, but you have to have the action. Okay? And so I wasn't taking action because I was still scared. I was afraid of like, what are other people going to think? What if I'm bothering them? That was my big thing because I work at night. I mostly work at night after my kids go to bed. For those of you who don't know me, I have 3 kids full time, but I have 5 total. I'm a bonus mom to 2. So just between like the 3 to 5 kids, I'm insanely busy during the day. And so I do most of my work at night. And for a long time, I was like, I don't want to bother people. Well, guys, I'm going to open my phone right now and tell you that all day long, I get these new notifications. I have 744 emails, 13 text messages, 11 phone calls, 16 Facebook messages, 1 Instagram, 16 notifications on Facebook, 7 on Messenger. I had to turn off TikTok because I had something go viral and I get 99 notifications in like 2 minutes. When you message them, guys, you are not bothering them. You are just another number in their little red notification icons. How many emails do you think if I went in here said, hey, you've got something left in your cart, are you interested? Oh, I bet about 600 of them, because I do this thing called pretend shopping where I'll go shopping online and I'll fill my cart full of stuff and then I'll wait. If you didn't know this, if you put in all your information and just don't do the billing part, a lot of times they'll send you coupons. If you know me, I'm a saver. I love bargain shopping, so I do that all the time. So I get notifications, hey, you left something in your cart. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm going to wait till the biggest discount and then I'm going to go buy it. So that's what we do, guys. And I tell my girls on my team, like, you are going to feel the fear. Don't think you're not going to feel the fear. At some point in this business, and some point in this journey, you are going to feel the fear. The fear of rejection, of being let down, of being spoken to in a way that no human deserves to be spoken to. Guys, I got it from a family member. She drug me so far down before I started doing self-development that I'm proud of my old self for getting back up. So you're going to feel the fear. Feel it and do it anyway, sister. Do it anyway. So I don't know if any of you follow me on TikTok, but I was scrolling through TikTok. Okay, first of all, I downloaded TikTok because my daughter kept making very inappropriate videos. She's 11, has no business having a cell phone. We're not paying for it. So anyway, she was making these very inappropriate videos of her like cussing. And I said, Bailey, surely you can be like TikTok famous without cussing. Like, it's not attractive to see a 10-year-old at the time cussing and singing these songs. Not attractive. So I downloaded TikTok, made a couple of Christian videos, deleted the app. Then everybody's like, oh, we're on TikTok. I'm like, okay, well, sister's going back to TikTok. So I got back on TikTok, was on it for a few weeks. Nothing, I mean, again, felt like nobody, but I'm over here like having a blast. Okay. I'm showing up. And in this season, I have just felt God tell me, encourage me, Sarah, show up and do the work and do it for me, and I will bless it. That is what I continuously hear, whether it be in my full-time job, which is being a mom, in my full-time job, which is being a wife. When I'm at church, I just feel God telling me, show up and do the work, and I will bless it. And so I did. I was scrolling through TikTok, and I saw this guy pray. He was like, I mean, to me, he looks like he's like 16, but in reality, he's probably like 23, because you don't ever know any nowadays. So this guy shows up. He's like, let me pray. And I'm like, no. Okay, convicted. Like, I went back. So I listened to him pray. And I was like, how awesome is that you just did that on TikTok? How freaking awesome. Guys, I have pray tattooed on my wrist. Praying is something that has completely changed my walk with Jesus. Again, I was raised in church, but I wasn't raised in Christ. I know Christ, and my kids are being raised in Christ. And oh, hold on. So sorry. My mom's calling. Apparently she doesn't know that I'm working. But anyway, so I get on TikTok and I'm like, I just feel God saying, you have to pray. That is what I'm telling you to do. Just do it. And now I'm not telling you all that you're going to go to TikTok and you're going to pray and it's going to go viral. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that God is calling every single one of us to do something different. But I kid you not that in 24 hours, that video had over 100,000 views. It now has over 2 million views, has gone viral on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Twitter. And I don't even do the Twitter. I don't even have a Twitter. I downloaded Twitter just to see what was going on. And then the guy who shared it on Twitter was like, I'm so glad I could bless you with this. I'm like, hey, bro, that's my face. But then I was like, no, it's not even about me. It's not about going viral. It's not about being famous. It's about, not that I'm famous because it's TikTok, but it's about doing what you have been called to do. And for me, I've been called to share Jesus with anybody and everybody. If you've never done your a spiritual giftedness quiz, I don't know what the technical name is, but it talks about your spiritual gifts. I highly recommend doing one. Spiritual inventory. If you've never done one, I highly, highly recommend it. I did my spiritual inventory test on Sunday. On Tuesday is when we went to that millionaire's house. And on Wednesday is when that video went viral. Again, I'm not saying that God's going to make your videos go viral on TikTok if you follow him and do what he tells you to do. Not what I'm saying. But I took action because I felt him calling me to just show up. And had I not done the self-development along the way, had I not broken those chains along the way, had I not changed my money mindset along the way, the kind of things that are happening in my business right now would be drowning me or would be ending everything. Like I would just quit. And that probably doesn't make sense. Like, I'm getting a lot of messages, but how easy would it be for me to be like, I don't know. I can't do this. I can't be a leader. I can't lead you. I don't know what to do. It's so important, guys, to get your mindset right. Get your mindset ready. In the beginning, sometimes it's slow. The road to success, I know everybody hears it. It's not like this. It's like this. Right? Like we all feel it. It's not just up. You got to get your mindsets right. So tonight, I wrote in the chat 6 non-negotiables. Go write them down. Go write down those 6 non-negotiables. And if you don't know what to do every day, sister, get organized. Something I heard was, if you look around you and everything is chaos, your mind probably looks the same. It probably just feels cluttered. It feels just chaotic. So get up in the mornings and get dressed. I mean, drink your coffee first. Clearly, that is a must. Drink your coffee, get dressed, put your makeup on. If you do your eyebrows, girl, do your eyebrows. If you want to curl your hair, guys, I didn't go anywhere today. My husband came home and said, where are you going? Nowhere, bro. I'm just trying to be successful. But you have to start playing the part for what you want. Don't have that broke mindset of, my 16-year-old can't have, that 16-year-old should have a Louis Vuitton because my 16-year-old can't have a Louis Vuitton. Girl, if you have enough money to pay off all your debt and get your daughter a Louis Vuitton, get her a Louis Vuitton. If that's what you want to do with your money, don't feel like it's a bad thing. Don't feel like you have to have that broke mindset anymore. You don't. Now, it may not be affordable. I'm not saying go buy a Louis Vuitton and wipe out your savings account. Not what I'm saying. Hear me, sister. Don't do that. If you have debt, pay off your debt first. Working is a lot more fun when you're debt free. I cut up 2 credit cards last Wednesday in my Financial Peace University class because I'm determined to change what my family sees as normal. I'm done with debt. I am done feeling broke. I am done feeling stuck. I am done feeling chained down. And y'all have to get there too. If you're not there, sister, talk to your upline, talk to whoever put you on this Zoom, talk to a friend, talk to the sideline sisters, talk to me. You've got to get that mindset right. That is so, so important. So I went over my 30-minute mark, but we are at 9 o'clock. Woo-hoo! Make sure that you copy those 6 non-negotiables. I recorded this, so hopefully it went well. I don't know. I didn't follow my notes. Oh, and I did want to tell you that Fortune's in the follow-up. Just a little side note that I didn't put down here. That is one of the non-negotiables is follow-up. But as a yellow, something that I do is I'm always like, hey, I just wanted to reach out and see if this is something you still wanted to do. But that's like the nice me. And so I started having to put a little bit of red in there because I'm learning to step outside of that yellow personality. And so what I've been saying is, hey, you reached out to me the other day. Are you still interested, or do you want me to quit bugging you? Or do you want me to just mark you off this list? And I had one girl was like, no, don't mark me off that list. And I was like, oh, there you are. There you are, my friendly little ghoster. You ghosted me, and here we are again. Because I said, hey, you messaged me. Hey, because I'm about to mark, I don't have time for this. Because whenever you start prioritizing your time, you're going to be like, I don't have time for all those people who said they were going to do it and then ghosted. Like, message them. They didn't like it. Move on. Keep going. Keep growing. Keep doing those non-negotiables. Keep planting the seeds. Keep showing up. Keep doing what God has called you to do. And He is going to honor that. Just make sure God is in it. Biggest piece of advice, God has to be in it. If you don't believe in God, you need to talk to someone who understands Jesus. Because I'm telling you, when Jesus is in the center of everything changes. Okay. I love y'all. I hope y'all have a wonderful night. I hope this helped. I'm going to stop the recording.